here's to an awesome season 2. I hope I can come back and tell you that it was just as great, and who knows, it might even turn out to be better than this season. I would even, I would even love to come back and do a top 5 for the second season. Well, I suppose later is better than never, I suppose. And if you want to see the original list, then go check out the link in the description, yada yada yada. Let's just get to the fucking video. Oh yeah, wasn't that like the most hyped season of an anime ever? Space Dandy has now come and gone with 2 really good seasons under its belt, and wisely stopped before reaching its peak and then just going downwards into something they just couldn't get up from again, like a lot of other shows tend to do. I'm looking at you, Boondock Season 4, that thing that never should have happened. After the first season of Space Dandy ended, there was nothing, and I mean nothing out there about what the next season would be like. Nobody knew what to really expect because of the rash nature of the series and how it was handled overall. Hell, if you go back and really watch that Season 2 premiere trailer, there are a lot of clips from very early episodes in the season, like Episode 1 and Episode 3, for example. So we really didn't have much to go on. However, as I describe these episodes, and yes, this is going to be full of spoilers, so, if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, just head out now. Let's just say we were not prepared for this at all. But I finally narrowed it down. The season to which episodes blew me away, which were the best of the best this season, which made receiving the Dandy Cock at 11:30 p.m. the most enjoyable. My friends, this is the top 5 Space Dandy episodes of Season 2. Number 5.
So, who decided I should be on drums anyway?
Yes. What better way to start off this list than an episode that introduced one of its most awesome one-off characters ever. Only this time, the character is way more smooth and relevant to the series' overarching plot. And he's voiced by Johnny Young frickin' Bosch.
Surprise! Here's Johnny.
Now, you are probably wondering, who is this handsome young anime, soon-to-be Rule 34 kind of guy? And how is he so relevant? Well, do you remember these guys back from earlier in the show?
So, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but the Gogol Empire and the Jicro Empire are currently locked in a life-or-death battle for ultimate control of the universe. But never mind all that, back to the Aloha Oi.
Yep, this guy is a part of the Jicro Empire. Those guys fighting the main villains and all, just a small little detail of plot, just one of the most important parts, just some left aside, the minor details. Hell, not only that, he is the motherfucking emperor of the Jicro Empire. So this guy's like leading the charge in this whole attack. However, this man has simpler dreams. You could say that he has Disney princess disease, if you will. All he wants is more. He wants something normal, at least something, normal for a fucking emperor. He wants to be a rock and roll legend. And when he meets up with Dandy and they begin to form one of the best bromances I've ever seen on screen, then him and the Aloha Oi crew decide to join him in his rock and roll lifestyle. I think one of my favorite parts was when they were acting like a regular band, just forming out of a garage or something, and they started fighting like children over just small little things like t-shirts or what the band's name was going to be or something like that. They pretty much ignore all responsibilities that a band should really follow, like They don't even get around to writing their hit song until like around the day the concert's gonna hit, and they barely managed to do that. It truly is your usual story of a one-hit wonder type band, just in Space Dandy universe. So whether you're a music buff or you know your music history and you've watched a ton of behind the music episodes, or the story of a band getting together and having arguments, losing members, trying to write a hit song, etc., isn't anything new. However, where everything in this episode is so over-exaggerated, whether it be in the way it's animated, or just the color scheme, or just some of the more subtle things like the dialogue. However, all of this eventually leads to a wonderful little song that can only be named Lonely Nights.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, lady, you don't have to have a lonely night. Space, lady, just come with me and I'm gonna
I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, this song speaks for itself. It's just wonderful, and I just love hearing it every time I hear it. Unfortunately, it was the final concert for this band, Dropkicks. And it might have been a lonely night, but it sure was a fun episode that introduced a, dare I say, rockin' character. Number 4. Wow, this is a different one. This whole episode keeps you questioning as soon as it fucking begins, as it plays out, and even when it ends, after it ends. I mean, just all the time, you're just gonna be asking, what? But for a good reason, and I'll explain why. It begins with Dandy just waking up all alone with no contact to the ship and all of his crew members in this strange, bizarre new world that he doesn't even remember ever getting to in the first place, with a lot of designs that, as in common Space Dandy fashion, look incredibly creative and have their own little special flair to them. The only things really that he has left to his own devices are some kind of glowing red cube that he's holding, some seashell necklace, and for some reason some hooded cloak he's wearing. After coming across an alien named Ferdinand that seems to have lived there for quite a long time, he agrees to guide Danny around this bizarre new planet nicknamed Limbo, and the two continue to meander around, meeting the other inhabitants and getting a general feel of the place. All the while, Danny starts to really notice a bunch of odd things about himself and the planet itself that all lead up to the dark, deep, mysterious secret that is revealed about this not so innocent looking planet. It turns out that the character that has been dying over and over again throughout the series is, in fact, dead. What a shock. Yep, this is Space Dandy's version of an afterlife, or something of that. I mean, with this episode, it's not even really clear if he really is dead. It turned out that after heading into some dark nebula nearby, which ended up leading to Dandy's supposed demise, and now he's in some kind of weird place where souls are unrest and they don't know exactly where to go. It's kind of like some kind of weird mix between Wonderland and Purgatory. Ferdinand and the other ghosts officially invite Danny to accept his death and join them in peace and everlasting happiness because, of course, once you're dead, you don't really feel anything. Hence the title, A World Without Sadness. However, Dandy being Dandy, he, like the audience, starts to question if you can really have happiness without sadness. If you can really have those moments of joy without having to experience those rough hardships.
I'm going to boobies! You can take this funeral and shove it!
It's those daring questions that he decides to ask. Finally, Dandy meets up with the only other real living creature on the planet named Poe, who describes herself as basically the whole entire planet personified. And after a bit of back and forth, she decides to give Dandy a choice. She can either send him to another dimension where he actually lives, but she would have to sacrifice herself and the entire planet because that's how she produces energy. Or Dandy could stay and be this companion that she's always looked for and that she's always been searching for, but she's never been able to find. But it's a big, long, complicated thing that you really gotta see the episode to understand. That might sound like an easy decision, but Paul and Dandy, with what little screen time they have with one another, their relationship is not as developed as much through words, but more the score, the animation, and all the other little details that you don't really notice without a couple of extra viewings. It's really kind of odd how this chemistry is kind of developed and actually really works. Now, I would give you the ending and kind of tell you what it is, but honestly, they kind of leave it pretty open-ended on what his decision was, which fits for a pretty minimalist episode such as this. And trust me, you'll have your own interpretation when you see it. I usually don't like stories told like this, with so much left open-ended, but this really is like some sort of nightmare and feels much more like an experience than anything else. The way the story and the writing is structured, a world might not have sadness, but even in this episode, it sure has enough Dandy to get your feel of it. Enough of a plot to follow and enjoy, but it's left just open-ended enough for your mind to wander and interpret.
I just realized something. Honestly, it kinda doesn't matter where I go. Whether I'm alive or dead, I'm still pretty dandy.
Number 3. This episode taught me a lot of things, and one of those things was that if someone told me that Space Dandy was an American cartoon after viewing this episode, I definitely believe them. I mean, hell, the American references that come from this episode are I can barely count them all. I had to watch this multiple times to get them all. There's like Slimer, there's like fucking the 80s Fly, there's all types of shit. Oh, and how did I mention Buff E.T.? Now look, if you've seen Space Dandy Season 2 and you've already seen this episode, then I'm just going to quickly sum up this episode for you. This episode revolves around Dandy having to go undercover as a transfer student to find a rare alien. And the one-shot character is pretty cute, adorable, and awesome, and, you know, that's cool and all. But we're not here because of that. We're not here because this is the greatest story of Space Dandy. We are here because of that fucking awesome final song.
Viva, 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 oh. Viva, 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 oh. Viva, oh. Viva, oh. Viva, 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 oh. All is all.
Aside from the song, I mean, this is pretty much like the ultimate, like, fucking dream for any fangirl of Space Dandy that's been following it up to it now. I mean, essentially, this is a power, like, thing, girl power thing. It's like, yeah, your Dandy's gonna come up to your school and she's gonna come to your prom, be your prom date, make you the belle of the ball, and some awesome shit's gonna go down with this awesome song. So, I mean, you know what? This isn't gonna be a review of the episode, because if I do, I'm just gonna talk about the song. I'm gonna be so completely spoiler free because I'm gonna barely talk about this episode. I'm just gonna let you go see this, and with this part, I'm just gonna talk about the highlights from the song because I just love it that much. So here we go, some highlights from Viva All. Let's go.
Promise for everyone.
Sing it, Nathan.
What? The web is all. If you can rule the net, then you got the power to rule the world.
To study is all. I have my intellect to make me a winner in the real world.
I don't know who these two guys are, They were barely in the episode. I didn't even know they had names, but yeah. They're fucking nerds, just going out there singing. Fucking QT, look at his adorable ass, fucking singing and dancing. Fucking doing more than this, the robot. Oh, and then Meow comes in, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna just jerk around, and even though, you know, I accuse myself of not being a cat, I'm gonna be like, just like, do cat puns and shit.
The universe has a buttload of centers, and I think all of them deserve to be voted queen. You see, in this world, all is all.
Those opening lines are just so inspiring. I don't know why she's doing all these hand motions. I don't know why, but her voice is beautiful, so I'm just gonna go with it. It really was just the perfect way to just get all these characters that were so divided by this hierarchy that was set up in the show, in the episode, till basically it just all culminates in this one fucking scene. I don't even need to talk about it because this all just sums it up right here why this episode is so good. It's upbeat, it is very relatable because most of the population I think has been through high school or some form of it. So a lot of these assholes I would have assumed you would be able to, you know, see and whatnot. Like I said, it's very, you know, it pumps you up basically is what I'm saying. And plus, when they're doing all these American references and satirizing, like, you know, musicals, like High School Musical or Glee or something like that, I didn't feel like it was just, you know, just making fun of it. I felt like they actually knew what they were talking about. I felt like they had some sort of affection for the cheesiness of it all and, you know, how powering it can be, you know, to young people like Viva is. I mean, you know, there's a certain charm in it all. And all that charm really goes into this one episode. And it might just be one episode, but they were the best years of my life.
Dude, it was a week.
Number 2. Okay, look at this shit. This is an entire timeline between episode 1 to the very last episode of all the different alternate endings and alternate dimensions and possibilities and timelines with Space Dandy. And this is all fan-made. This isn't official, this isn't anything else. So, yeah. These people really like to theorize about shit. So, when you get an episode like this,
the stray hair Dandy pulled is called a cosmic string, more commonly referred to as a dimensional fray. This string-like domain is a remnant of a phase defect at a certain point in space. Whenever someone pulls on a cosmic string, a doorway leading to a parallel universe is opened. There are an infinite number of universes, and within them, every conceivable possibility has become a reality. While some may be quick to label them counterfeits or doubles, that's not the case. They are each the genuine Dandy and crew of their particular universe.
Then yeah, this is gonna be a fan favorite. The bulk of this episode is mainly just Dandy and the crew jumping in between universes as they pull what is commonly referred to in this episode and what is revealed to be a quote-unquote cosmic string. And if this were a top list of the funniest episodes of Space Dandy, then this would take the fucking cake. I don't think they wasted a single potential joke within this episode. I don't think they wasted any single thing they could possibly pull out. It was just joke after joke after joke. I mean, they just kept, and it was just non-stop, and none of them really, like, missed. It was all just hit after hit after hit, and you had to watch this episode several times because it was just coming at you, like, all different ways, so you couldn't possibly catch up all the references. I certainly couldn't. Like I said, the bulk in the first half pretty much is just them going through different universes. So you got plenty of different Dandies, Meows, and QTs to visit. Like, for example, you've got Perfect Wow, 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 oh my god, that's Prince Dandy Lovechild, oh my god, wow, wow. trucker dandy, triangle dandy, and then there's, of course, the king himself.
Here's Dandy! Oh! Ah!
Huh?
I could just watch this guy all day. This thing is amazing. Whoever designed this character is incredible. But no, it's not this. Just listen to some of this riveting dialogue. Well, I can see someone was a fan of the King of Pop.
Hey, old man! You got a star-shaped birthmark?
Huh?
I've got to gather all 8 of the heroes with star-shaped birthmarks in order to defeat the evil Demon King.
That's JoJo. That's also Dragon Ball Z. Wow. Oh my god, that's Dragon Ball Z. What the fuck? And apparently that QT is apparently some reference to something called Super Milk Chan. I haven't seen it. You know, this thing's probably a reference to so many things that I'll probably never understand all of it. There's so many. No, there's probably like tons of Japanese things that's referencing right now that I'll just never understand because I'm a stupid American. I'll just never understand. I'll never be able to fathom this universe. That's how complex it is. However, after all this universe hopping, the timeline or whatever, or the space-time continuum, or the primordial ooze that carries souls around the world and stuff, decides to do a big kablow, kablam, kablow yow when they pull another cosmic string, and then they all kind of end up together in the same universe. And you know what that means with Dandy and the crew. More shenanigans!
Let's drink to us!
Until finally, there's actually distortions in the universe due to all the different universes coming together in this big hodgepodge. It's like contradictions start to happen that just don't even make any sense, like beefy chicken ramen. Like, who's heard of beefy chicken ramen? That's just ridiculous. They don't even really seem to mind these contradictions for a while until the ultimate straw is pulled.
Welcome to Boobies! We hope you like what you see, boys! It's all over. The boobies are gone.
I wonder what happened to cause the world to become so contradictory.
Then that's it, baby. Then they have to get together and they have to form a plan. A plan that will eventually lead to success.
I want to die.
Hey, who's this guy?
What the hell?
That's Dandy? And that's a meow, and holy shit, that's a QT. Oh my god, I want to die.
I want to die.
Exactly. Wait. So after coming to the conclusion that all their lives are way better than this guy's, they decide to come together under one solid conclusion, and they decide to just burn all the fucking strings.
So, the cosmic string vanished, and once again the universe had only one Dandy and crew.
Alright, it worked!
However,
Duh. I wanna die.
all future episodes of Space Dandy will feature this cast.
And the #1 episode is...
On the next all-new episode of Space Dandy,
At last I found you.
He's in the heart of the Gogol Empire homeworld. What?
Oh, hell fucking yeah. That's right, the Gogol Empire finally, after all these episodes, captures Dandy, and it's revealed why they're after Dandy. God, it took them a long time to get to this place. I should feel like a proud parent, like, you know what? Yeah, I've raised them boys good. And I don't know about you guys, but I just enjoyed listening to these two banter back and forth. Like, Dr. Gel's taking this all seriously, and, you know, he's totally into this. He's like, I finally got you, Dandy. And Dandy's like, just, whatever, just, who the hell are you? Where am I? Taking the fucking boobies already? I'm hungry. Are you there yet? Starring Ice Cube. As I said before, they reveal why they've been going after Dandy all this time. It turns out that they've been wanting Dandy to power some sort of big, gigantic super weapon of theirs because he has some sort of gene or particle or something like that called pionium.
There are a countless number of universes that exist parallel to our own. However, we have never been able to cross over to these other dimensions, nor even had a glimpse of their actual existence. That being said, we know of connections that run through the dimensions, called cosmic strings. These strings can be pulled out into one universe using mega pionium. By gaining control over these connections, we should be able to manipulate any possibility. Some might even call such a feat the work of God. Only one man in the universe holds that key.
And if you listen real closely to past episodes, whether they be from season 1 or 2, you can actually hear them talk about pionium, and it all starts to kind of come clear and the lines all start to connect.
Yeah? Oh wait, I know what that is. That's a cosmic string. If we go pulling on it all willy-nilly, there's a chance that space-time will distort even more and we'll be trapped here forever.
Are you telling me that this could be a sighting of the fabled element, pionium?
Meanwhile, while this is all going on, the Gycro Empire actually gets involved as well, which brings in our rockin' guy from before, Johnny, which makes my comment about him being one-shot totally irrelevant. And since they got Dandy trapped up in the Google homeworld and all that, they basically go in full force. I'm talking giant fucking mech battles. You get some of the best animation of the series. And speaking of that, guess who else gets caught up in all this mess? Basically all the other main cast, even if they are technically on the quote-unquote crew, are on the ship together from the last episode. And now they are going in to save their good friend Dandy. And they have their own banter back and forth, and it is great to just see these characters interact. Not only that, but you get to see how they all fare in this giant fucking mech war that all surrounds them as they try to save their friend. Also, apparently, Johnny's made his way aboard the Gogol Empire homeworld, and he actually gets into Admiral Perry's HQ. And then it is finally revealed that the main bad guy, the looming presence that has been commanding Dr. Gel all this time, is actually a Tupac hologram, and apparently he looks like the guy from Google or something, or just an average Japanese businessman. Either way, they're both pretty evil. Eventually the crew get down there to save Dandy's ass, but unfortunately we still got a big fucking problem on our hands. A giant fucking laser fucking thing is still gonna blow up the entire universe. Yeah, still kind of an issue. However, Dandy decides to go in on this mission alone. He wants to show gratitude to his friends, who just tried to risk everything to save him.
Each one of you risked your lives to come to my rescue. And that's why I can't let you throw away your lives now. Not for me, not again. I got this. Don't worry about me, babies.
Every time I see this scene, I think it's really powerful, and I think it says a lot for the relationships that all these characters have towards Dandy. Whether it be the kind of sibling rivalry kind of thing that Meow and Dandy kind of share, the old partners kind of thing QT and Dandy have, because it seems like they've been together far longer than any of them have been combined. Whether it be the obvious relationship that Skrull and Dandy have. And yes, by the way, that episode totally would have been on this list hadn't it been for that fucking train. Curse you, train, and your Pat Monahan vocals. And even Honey to some extent, who has been given a lot of development along with Scarlet throughout this season. You feel confident in Dandy. You feel like he knows exactly what he's doing, even though he probably really doesn't, knowing this character, which shows you how powerful a show can be when you feel confident in something that you know is probably not going to end up well. If that makes any sense at all. And plus, he's got the Gogol Empire ship. Not only does he have the Gogol Empire ship, but it turns into a fucking mech. Now, notice how it was the Statue of Liberty before? Yeah, it was the face. Oh yeah. Now it's a fucking mech. Lady Liberty as a mech. And we got also some deep character shit going on here in the background and some nice banter. How is this not a great finale? We got twisted turns, we got everything that you could possibly want out of it. And not only that, it's just gonna keep getting better on from here. So, after a big, gigantic fight, it looks like Dandy has lost it all. And it looks like Dandy is about to lose it all. Until one ray of hope appears, and he knows what he has to do. We're all looking at the same picture, aren't we? You just saw that, right? We're all viewing the same thing, right? I literally could just play a montage of songs that could fit over that. In fact, let's try that. Let's see what happens. Too old.
Don't lose your way, your mind free how to be as one. Don't be afraid, my sweetheart. This is the way to be more.
Too anime. Perfect. So after that long consciousness of whatever the fuck that was, Dandy ends up in this sort of weird limbo-like place. Doesn't really know where he is. Until he starts to hear voices.
Wait, I feel like I've heard your voice before.
That's because you have. I've been watching over you for a while now. Once as a chameleonian, but mostly as a narrator.
Huh?
I am one who is not subject to any physical restrictions. I am one who can traverse the entirety of time and space.
Wouldn't that make you kind of like God, though?
That's right. The narrator is a fucking character. Not only is he a character, but he is literally God. He tells Dandy that he is basically just as omnipresent as he is, and that he needs a successor. And there's only one person who can fill that role, and that is Dandy himself. But there's only one problem.
What's wrong?
This being God thing, does that mean I won't have a body anymore?
Of course. God is one who transcends all matter.
Oh. Without a body, going to boobies won't be any fun.
Pardon?
This is the stupidest idea ever. I'm out. No God for me.
That's right. Dandy just said, fuck you to God. He literally just turned down being God. Yeah, so take that dumb Goku versus Superman argument out the window Dandy wins every argument. You wanna know why? God. He bested God. What then? And then the whole universe just resets.
Show me a boob man, and I'll show you a no-brain, no-class knuckle-dragger who knows nothing of the fair sex. There are far more important things to consider.
Yep, right back to the very first episode. Although, something's a bit different.
As I was saying, it's all about the legs, baby.
And if I could make a quick comment about this episode that I found really powerful was the end credits, actually. All it was just simply going from one setting or item floating in space or, you know, a planet or something like that. And they're all things that they each represent an episode in the series, basically. So it was walking like, it was like walking down memory lane, and it was just really powerful being a fan of the show ever since the beginning, basically. And I just really loved it, quite frankly. And that's a wrap, folks. Those are my favorite episodes of this season. I hope you enjoyed the list, and if you've got some different favorite episodes of this season, last season, maybe just mix it all together. Favorite characters, moments, just let me know in the comments. Just let me know. Because I want to go into the mind of you fellow Space Dandy fans. Have a Space Dandy discussion off, if you will. So, I'm Giggs. I got a new home, and I, for one, am loving it. So remember, everybody, stay dandy, and also remember, everybody, good can be done.
Once your dreams have gotten rusty, that's all she wrote. Polish them all you want, but that ship has sailed. Just trade those crappy old dreams in for a set of new ones. Point is, you gotta find your own purpose in life, baby. Oh, come on, are you even listening? I'm trying to drop some knowledge here, QT. Well, anyway, we gotta go. Do you wanna dance?
That entire crew is insane.
Adios, amigos.
So what do we do now?
I don't know.